which I think is only Dean. Hello, Dean. Good to
Hey,
see you. I don't know where you find that Mexican flag.
what do you mean? It's on the thing. What? What?
Do your job.
The pictures?
No, you're supposed to announce people when they come in.
Oh, Believe is here.
Hello, Believe. And Dan, if you're still here, hello to you too, y'all. I wonder if I should have the nah, on
What?
my phone. Me half point five, Danny Boydster. I'm not sure if he's here anymore, Dean.
Policarpanos here.
Hello, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Anyway, like I was saying, I was so hot this morning that I was dreaming that I was covered in fleas. So I was scratching my arms. Yes, that's what I was saying. Anyway,
Are you guys as hot as we are here? The air is on in the room. Been on for an hour and I'm still sweating in here. I don't know what's going on. Believe in thyself.
Faith Bernard is here.
Hello, Faith. My grandparents lost their house last Monday and got a new place. They have to start over again.
Well,
How did they lose their house? It's kind of a big thing to lose.
fire perhaps?
Where they misplaced it.
Maybe.
I guess with a certain kind of house you can misplace them. Now you've got to have a place. You got to have a place, a house. You close the front door and you get away from all the problems outside. Very important. People don't realize how important that is.
Chris is here.
Hello, Chris. What's going on all the way up there? Have you driven the LeBaron yet? The Lee Baron? Braden does peas did say. I'm sorry. Hmm, okay.
Braden mentioned it.
I
This
haven't
is
seen Braden in here.
if two vegans quarrel with each other, is it still considered a beef?
Two vegans. Oh, I heard you say squirrel.
Oh,
It's not making any sense. If two squirrels, Chris says, LeBaron goes in for safety inspection on Friday. I have no doubt it'll pass. That's nice. Do you know what they look for? Tires, brakes, windshield wipers, horn, headlights. Supposedly, the president of our country is having people stop, having, I guess, the National Guard stop people on the highway and check to see if their horn is working. And if their horn is working, they can't drive it on the highway. That's going to really screw me over on these old vehicles because a lot of the horns do not work. Maybe I'll just have to run a wire into the cockpit and just put it together when I need it. Hey, it works.
Chris says they look at everything I replace.
Good. You replaced the brakes and everything? You did the brakes on it?
Very good, that's here.
All rise. No thanks, Barry. Too hot to go. It's too hot to stand up. You want to start the pictures? Obviously, this is not a Mexican spec car because these weren't sold here, but it does happen to be here. And I was just telling Mrs. Spec I had a 1979 model of this in Las Vegas, and I got hit by lightning. The front bumper got hit by lightning. What? And I could see the mark on the front bumper, the chrome bumper. These were really nice riding cars. I also had a Buick Riviera 1981 model that had the factory diesel under the hood. That was also a good car. Really like that one on the highway. Probably wouldn't like it today with the cost of diesel, but back then it was pretty good.
The bullet is here.
Hey, Stray Bullet. Dan says Oldsmobile! Exclamation mark times whatever. I don't know how many of those are.
I think it's 6.
But yeah, yeah, these were very good cars. The Eldorado, the Riviera, the Coronado, very good cars. Underrated for sure. I don't care what engine's in them.
But the car finals here.
I know.
They
Didn't
said,
you say it before?
did I?
Yeah.
I don't know. I said it too long ago. And it says, had 80 Vera, same car, better looking front end. Dean says 307 gasoline in the 79 Mexican Spec.
Yeah, I never cared. I just put gas in, turned the key, and I went. Didn't matter which engine was under the hood. There was nothing I could do about it anyway. So didn't really think about it. I bought another one. I bought a Toronado at an impound sale, and I had it sent to a friend of mine who had a mechanic shop. And the pull to open the hood was broken. The cable was broken. There was no way to get that hood open without cutting the front of the hood off. There was no way from underneath, from anywhere. You just could not get that hood open, no matter what. We tried everything.
But it says those were good diesel engines. The 5.7 engines don't care what anyone says.
Mine, if I left it in the storage yard for a while, I'd have to send it over to the diesel shop to get it running again. But after that, it was a you just tap the key, it starts up, you can go anywhere. And it took a long time to use the fuel in that. Going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles and back, it was a nice car, nice riding car. And when they put the diesel engine in them, they tended to put the diesel engines in the fully loaded cars. They had every option that was available that year in the diesel cars. The old 98s, everything. They just loaded them out when they had the diesel engine in them. So yeah, this Riviera had just about everything in it. Still had the checked paint though. The original paint was all checked, so not easy to get it painted, but dark red. Good driving car though. Good driving car. And it's rare to have problems with General Motors power windows. They work they'll work through the apocalypse, those power windows. So never had any problem with any of those. Air worked good. And when you didn't want anybody behind you, you put your foot to the floor and it filled up the whole freeway with a cloud of black smoke, rolling coal, clear out the whole freeway behind you. Perfect.
95.
Dan,
And it says, so they'd be worth swapping a gas or into.
I'd rather have the diesel.
Lester's here.
Hello, Lester.
So it says nobody knew how to work on them back then, and the diesel fuel back then wasn't the quality that we have now.
Yeah, they had filters and all kinds of stuff. Just so when I let it sit in the storage yard, I had to send it to the diesel guy to get it going again, the fuel system and all that. I didn't know how it worked either. I didn't know what was bringing the fuel up. I didn't know anything. It was not a gasoline engine. So I did lean sales for the guy. He fixed my car and we were even. So no, not a big deal. No money out of my pocket. Not much anyway.
For the kind of front says front wheel drive made equated in snow.
Yeah, it sure did because it was a heavy car too, a heavy front wheel drive. So you're not just skidding on the top. Very underrated cars. The only ones that I would not buy is a 1982 to 1985 Cadillac Eldorado. I would not touch one of those with that 4.1 liter engine in it. The 365 in the 81, the V864, great engine, never fails. No problem with that at all. Another thing that people didn't know how to deal with, but I started working as soon as I got my driver's license, like in January of '83. I started working for a dealer, moving his cars around and stuff, and I learned that the dealers, whenever they got an 81 Cadillac in stock, they would bypass the V864 thing under the driver's seat, so it would stay on 8 cylinders all the time, because that was the major complaint, that it would stay on 4 cylinders. You're trying to take off from a light or something. So whenever any of them came into their hands, they bypassed it, so there was no more problems with them. So it is shocking to see one today that still actually changes under the hood. Now the digital display on the dash would still change. It'll say V8, it'll say 864, whatever, but nothing was happening under the hood. It was staying on 8 cylinders all the time. So you could get in one today, and even though it says it's changing on the dash, there's nothing happening under the hood. People think their 864 is still working, but no, it's staying on 8 cylinders all the time. So I'd be surprised, unless it was a one owner car that was never sold, never traded back into a dealer or anything. After all this time, maybe that one is still working. Or maybe when he took it into his mechanic, they just bypassed it and been done with it. But I'd be shocked to see one that is actually working today.
Dean says HD 4.1
Is garbage.
126 horsepower with a beast.
Yeah, in those full size Cadillacs.
Marcura says, I suppose everyone is getting a spinning circle? No?
No, we're fine. There's been no loss of anything.
Spirit confirms no spinning circle here.
Mm-hmm. It's weird that General Motors used their Cadillac buyers who were loyal to the brand to experiment with all their garbage engines on them and all of their trickery for whatever. It's, supposedly they needed to get better gas mileage. Customers were not complaining about the gas mileage on the cars. It was the government. So there was no reason for them to do the V864 or the 4.1 or downsize anything. Their customers wanted a Cadillac. They never had to advertise Cadillacs. Every one they made, they sold. It was the only division that was the case.
Like when it says GM still can't send their deactivation work right.
Yeah, they're still burning out engines and stuff. It just shouldn't happen. Chris says that's why they all went and bought Lincolns and Lexuses, Lexi, and such. Yeah, my father had yeah, Lexi. My father went from the Cadillac STS. Well, he had Lincolns. He bought an '88 Lincoln Mark 7. That one had major problems, and Lincoln bought it back. He liked the way he was treated, so he bought an '89 just in a lighter color. And then he had that one for a while. So in '95, he got the STS with the North Star, and then after that, he bought a Lexus. So he went away from the American companies and got a Lexus, which is basically a Camry, the ES250.
But it says car companies always do that with their high-end vehicles.
Yeah, and they're experimenting on their most loyal customers, which is absolutely stupid. Just stupid. But that's the way they did it. They made their front-wheel drive cars and put crappy engines in them, and then they get their reputation. Dean says the D-board 500 Cadillac was a 368, 3.80 inches, and a piston stroke of 406. It was the non-sequential injection downgrade that messed up the 368 864. But once you bypass the changing, it's still the same. Still the same 368.
It says, yeah, my father's last American car was an '81 Buick Regal. He bought a loaded Nissan Maxima in '86 and never looked back.
Yeah. We had the same problem in the family with an '86 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Brougham, bought from the local Oldsmobile dealer. The car was having problems, or the dash was, I don't know what was happening, but he was complaining so much. At the dealership, they brought out the area rep from Oldsmobile, and he took the area rep's car. The area rep took the Cutlass to drive it around for a day to see if he could replicate the problems that my father was complaining about, and they finally worked something out. I think we kept the car. I guess it was traded in 2 years later on a Lincoln Town Car. So he never went back to General Motors. Yes, he did. He bought the Cadillac, didn't he?
Well, you
Yeah, in '95.
Triple says, what the people don't really care. People will still buy Mercedes and Range Rovers that lose practically 90% of their value after 8 years.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily buying them; they're leasing them. The first buyer leases them. It's a company write off, and they give it back after a couple of years, and they're done with it. They don't have to worry about any of that.
But Garofano says, Cadillac should off-put the 3.8 instead of North Star.
Well, I don't think North. They didn't know about the problems of the North Star, but why did they need such a sophisticated engine in the car? It just didn't matter. It just didn't make any sense. Glenn Nickerson is here.
Hey, Glenn.
A duster. Up here they became a cruster. This one happens to be a demon. What did the demons turn into, Glenn? I can't tell if this is a factory demon or it's a U.S. import or what it is. It has the Mexican hood tack, so I'm not sure.
And Chris says, yeah, you don't buy a Mercedes slash Audi BMW Range Rover. You lease them.
Yeah, you give them back to the company. That's it. I'm done with it. Go on to the next one. It's the second and third buyers that have to put up with all the crap. But that's coming on that car.
Sorry.
Excuse you. You know that crap is coming on the German cars. Crusty Demon says, so no fancy word for demon, huh? The weather in Mexico really takes care of these old Chrysler products. Most of them are just as clean as they came out of the factory. There's areas that aren't. I have to admit that, but oh, and by the way, Danny Boyd, if you're going to stay here the whole time, we have included pictures of
Sneaky pictures.
Of Perro Spec, Gato Spec, and Danny. Oh, and Jawea too, who's a cat that passed away last year. So there's a very cute picture of that is coming up of Danny and whoever he's laying next to. So you really have to see that picture.
Chevrolet says, what the old people mostly use to purchase their vehicles outright?
Not if they're smart.
Dean says, an American Alfa Romeo, Glenn Nickerson. And Berkeley says, spinning. What? Berkeley, just leave and come back in.
It's probably on your side, Barry. It's not us.
Check your internet. Dan says, excellent. Wait. Excellent.
Yep. Excellent. Josh is here. Hello, Josh.
It's showing it to you faster than me. Stop it.
Why?
Because I'm supposed to be saying hi.
You're not even looking at the chat.
I am.
Where's the chat?
Right here.
The demon becomes a Lehman. Oh, okay. Are you going to read them or not?
Yes. Glenn says, I wouldn't buy any new European car. Korean car, domestic, or Nissan now.
So what does that leave?
Chris says,
a 25-year-old car.
Chris says to Barracuda, are you sure the spinning isn't because you've been enjoying too many Sunday libations? Dean says 1.0 equals heart.
This Ram Charger is a very, very, very clean example, with the exception of the missing center caps.
Right,
so hopefully I'll be able to get a buyer on that one, but he wants quite a bit. It's a very, very low mile truck though.
Hold on, guys.
What?
I need to cover my legs.
It was a mosquito that just passed through.
Yeah, it was right here. I just scared it.
The Dean is singing.
What are you singing in? I was listening to Arctic Monkeys The like I've been listening to Arctic Monkeys the whole week. Mind you, I don't read the lyrics.
Josh says good evening. Glenn says Honda or Toyota or a Mexican Spec Special. I'm waiting for you to order your Mexican Spec Special.
Trouble is when you can't write off the lease as a business expense, it makes it way more expensive than purchasing.
Not necessarily, because you're guaranteed to get out of the car. It costs a lot more when you're buying it and you have to take the depreciation. People used to buy like a Ford Crown Victoria, lease it 2 years, return it, get a new one every 2 years, and always be driving an almost new car. That was a great setup.
Barracuda says I won't be having my Sunday libations from out for hours away. What is libations?
Alcoholic drinks.
Oh.
And you think we believe that, Barry?
I believe you, Barry. I don't have enough.
What?
You're making noise and the dog starts wagging his tail. So what is it? You think they don't pay for depreciation in a lease?
Yes, they pay for it, but they make their payments and they send it back. They don't have to worry about they want to sell it in 2 years and they're upside down on their loan. It's already figured in, and the buyer can say that they want to do it or they don't want to do it. Did you know that Nissan almost went out of business when they were leasing the 86 and a half hard body trucks, 87, 88, because they overvalued them for the end of the lease. So Nissan took a huge hit when those came back. They sent them to auction. They were sold for almost nothing. Base trucks. Nobody wanted to pay anything for those things. 2 years, 2 years later, and Nissan had to make up the difference, and it was a huge, huge loss for them. They almost went bankrupt. Somehow they saved themselves, but that was a huge miscalculation on their part. Because from what I understand, the one of the sales managers that we had at our Chevy store used to work at a Mazda dealer, and he told me that they would give the trucks away. You come in, with almost no money, no credit, you're driving out in a truck, but they will nail you on the cars. They will get as much money as they can out of the cars. That's how the business plan worked at Mazda.
Sorry, I'm doing something.
Why? You're working here.
I'm walking here. Hold on, I'm answering the
Barracuda
name.
has audio now. That was not us. We didn't do that. Chris says Nissan also had to buy back all the Nissan vans they sold due to unresolvable fire risk problems.
Dean and I are talking.
What Nissan vans? What?
Dean and I are talking.
Are you?
Yes.
What Nissan vans? Were those the Villagers? Or was that way later that I don't know about?
Bury the issues on your end because nobody else is having the issue.
Because there was a Mercury Villager and a Nissan something. It's the same vehicle. Nissan. What was the Nissan called?
I don't know.
The Nissan van.
The van?
Yeah, it was a Mercury Village. It was a Mercury that was sold at Nissan.
I don't know.
Mid 80s Nissan vans, mid engine. They bought them all back. Mid engine? In the US? Are you talking about the ones we had here? They didn't buy anything back here. They had a Nissan van? West. Thank you, buddy. That that name just went out of my head. No, I'm not the biggest Nissan fan. To stay up so I can be cool.
Sorry. I just thought it must be my picture. Or that it was in contact on your back.
Definitely the Quest. Hey Dan, I wonder if Dennis would be interested in this scrambler here.
You didn't read my message?
I don't read messages like that.
It's very easy.
I'm not 15 years old.
Ah, come on, try it.
Nissan NV. I don't remember Nissan selling a van in the 80s. Yes, Chris, I remember the Toyota vans, but I don't remember Nissan ever selling a van like that.
Dance is nice, CJ.
It's a scrambler. It's one of Dennis Collins' very favorite vehicles.
The Dean says, "¿Qué? Mistake faulty." Joshua Man says, Nissan Quest.
Yes, the Quest. And when you bought a Nissan Quest, they gave you a square Ford key to get into it.
Joel says, "That's why."
Well, where did they send the vans then when they took them back from U.S. buyers? Probably to Mexico, right?
Or the Philippines. Joel says, "They recalled them." Dan says, "Toyota vans use Supra from bumpers." Dean says, "Nissan Nomad?"
No, Chevy owned that name. I don't think Nissan used the Nomad. At least not in the U.S. Dan, I don't think Dennis would want to pay the amount that they're asking for this scrambler here. I think I put it at the beginning. Hmm.
You okay? Hey, Una. Where are we going today? Andrew says, "Hola, out and about today. We'll pop in when I can."
Hola, Steven.
Hey, Steven. Oh, Una, I had quesadillas yesterday. They were really good. Oh, I love quesadillas.
What,
Maricola says, "I'm so sorry. He's from Barcelona.
Una, what is pre-camp?
From from
Is that like a hockey thing?
yeah. So you are pre-booing."
Get it out there.
Dean says, "Don't mention the war, Basil. There's no war on Basing Say." Dan says, "Born in Arizona, moved to Babylonia."
Hey, must be Nueva León. Yeah, it says Monterrey, Nueva León, right there.
And the pre-camp is when you show up to training camp before training camp starts.
Why would anybody do that if the camp hasn't started yet?
They introduce you to your people. They make you talk about
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Surrender says, "I have wanted a Jeep Scrambler since they were new."
I seriously doubt you're ever going to get one now because what Dennis does, he buys them, redoes them, puts the really high price on. So now everybody thinks the Jeep Scramblers are worth gold. I mean, this guy does. This guy here,
Dean says,
but it is the only one here in Mexico, so probably.
Dean says, "Basil Faulty mentioned the war. Don't be like Basil." Who's Basil? Chevrolet says, like preschool.
You actually do something in preschool, then. I guess you don't do anything in pre-camp.
So make
But
it
why are
nice.
you booing us for pre-camp? They're not even doing anything yet. You should have put pre-boo.
Nicola says, "I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it."
This looks like the original color to this truck, and it's like school bus yellow. And the door jambs and everything are painted that color.
Uno says, "Professionalism, both competitiveness and basic Canadian values."
Those are truck tires, and they don't look like they're radials. That would be a really hard ride all the way back. Really hard.
So like you show up early so you don't show up late, something like that. Trouble says scrambles were expensive long before Colin started getting his filthy hands on them.
Yes, but prices went up from there because he buys anyone he can find, good or bad.
Olivia says, why is it so hard for women to work in the postal services? Because it's such a male dominated industry.
Hmm.
I'm gonna send you a picture of my post office.
No, Luis has his daughter working there,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
she's a teacher.
That's what I'm saying.
He keeps saying she's a teacher. What the hell is she doing here? I guess they're on summer vacation, so she's a teacher when school is in, and when she's
Hi.
not, she's working the family business at the post office.
Stop
Dean says,
working.
if your time is exceptional, Barracuda, you'll get away with saying anything at least once. It's part of being a refined individual. Your tone is exceptional. Lester, you want to start early to have a better chance of making the team. But if the camp hasn't started yet, make any sense?
Oh, so on the camp they choose the team players? Oh. Then says console. Regular
Yes,
passenger fine.
this is a fully loaded LTD. Probably doesn't have air conditioning though. Fully loaded. And don't you love people that take pictures at nighttime? I there's a 76 Duster that I'm gonna post, and he took pictures at night with the headlights on, so that makes it even worse. So I asked him for pictures during the day. So what does he do? He takes a video at night with the headlights on of the car, a black car. Goes, he leaves it. It's running. He's walking all the way around. You can hear the engine running. It's a slant six, but it sounds like a V8 for some reason. He walks all the way around, and then he sends me another video. Everything is at night. Everything's in the dark. Like, what the hell? But I'm just gonna have to go with that because he didn't give me any interior pictures. It's supposedly a brand new interior in the car, but he didn't give me any pictures of that, and it does not sound like a slant six under the hood at the exhaust, and it's running really smooth. So it's a really good running car, good looking car too. New wheels, new tires, everything. Maybe new tires.
Sorry. The chat the messages.
Is there an air compressor there? I think there's an air compressor. And it has air conditioning.
Yeah, I knew it. Strebole says, what is this pre-camp for? What sport? For
Hockey.
hockey. Dan says, there is AC on this LTD.
Yeah, I saw that.
Chris says, sounds like the guy is hiding something.
I don't know, or maybe he works too much and he can only get home when it's dark, one or the other. I don't know. But publishing a black car in the
Stop moving,
dark,
stop moving, stop
so
moving, stop moving, stop moving. Damn it. Oh, maybe I got it. I have a leg here. Did I? I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a leg.
Mrs. Spec is hitting me, telling me that it's actually a mosquito.
I can hit you if you want to. You belong to me.
Believe says, I accidentally took my cat's meds last night. Don't ask me how. CD Burlock is here.
Hey, Senator Burlock. They said there's a Mercury Marquis similar to that, but it's a sedan heavy.
Those are good cars. I had the station wagon version, which was turned into a first call car.
Triple
So
says
nice.
hockey. I
Very
haven't
nice.
seen the hockey series that I want to watch.
That's okay.
That's the only time that I'm gonna say that.
Obviously, this is not a Mexican car. Ironically, the Ranchero wasn't sold here, nor was the El Camino, even though they had
It is dead. It's right there.
Spanish type names. This one is not a GT.
I can't reach
It says Brome on the door panel, so somebody just put all this stuff on there. The rear bumpers are always bent on these. This one's no exception. Maybe they tried to tow it or something. But the station wagon that I posted of this body style is missing both its turn signals. I went looking on eBay or wherever for a turn signal. I cannot find a turn signal for one of these. Unattainium.
Very good. This is my cat's meds always end up in the carpet.
Supposed to be down their throat.
That's why. Yeah, that's what he means. Um, that's why I don't have carpet. Chevrolet says, "Whoa, look at that ranchero."
It is nice, but somebody put the GT. Maybe it's a GT and a Brougham. I don't know.
Silverlock says, "Is that a square headlight?"
Yes, it's the last year, 1979. Blue interior. Ooh, very blue interior. With air conditioning and everything. Nice. It's a nice one, but it's still a Ranchero. Not everybody's favorite vehicle. Excuse you.
Yours, cute.
Looks original, the interior, because nobody would put that back in there. Tufted. Is
I didn't took my sleeping pill last night.
that where you were hugging a pillow?
Maybe. I was
Power seat.
I was
Yeah.
sleeping. Chevrolet says the duty package was just cosmetic on that year anyway.
Yes, but was it available with the Brougham package as well?
Silverlock says, sorry, hold on. Silverlock says the one I told you is a 1977 in Broham.
Yeah, Brougham.
Bro,
Hmm.
bro. I like that word.
Chris is having flashbacks of his grandmother's Davenport. What is a Davenport?
You don't know a car?
I don't think that's a car.
Oh. Silverlock says basically just stickers and wheels. ¿Qué tienes, bebé? Acuéstate aquí, no te va a pasar nada. Acuéstate aquí.
Somebody went out of their way to paint this car this color.
¿Quieres una toalla ya?
Probably CD Burlock. Probably a 351. They didn't have any big blocks in 1979. Oh, okay. He's comparing the interior of the Ranchero to his mother's sofa.
Ah. Oh, this is Brogan. What is Brogan?
He's saying Brougham incorrectly.
Lester says, Barry, we can't get our cat's mouth open for meds anymore. Too smart. I heard that if you wait for them to sleep, it's better.
I don't ask their opinion.
Then now you don't give them meds. You ask
Well,
me to give them meds.
yeah, but they're not gonna deny it. Deny it.
Yeah, because you're not giving them to me. I'm giving them to
Dan
them.
says rocker sofa is a Davenport. What is a rocker sofa? Is that like a sofa for a rock group?
Like that?
Sofas don't rock.
Yes, they do.
No.
Yes, they do. Trust me, I almost fell in because I didn't know it was a rocker. Triburlux says couch equals Davenport. Dean says LTD2 with a Ranchero pickup train.
Yes, that's what it was.
Believe says if you have no interest in lending out money, you are not alone.
That is correct.
Pargula says it's not much easier getting a pill into a dog. Actually, it is.
I just shove it down their throat. They don't have a say in it. Same with a cat.
To a dog, it's much easier. Well, it depends on the size of the dog, honestly. But to a dog, it's much easier, and it also depends on the dog's food, like play or food favoritism. Because for my some of my dogs, they are really food motivated. So what I do is I give them a hot dog, give them a pill, give them a hot dog, give them a pill, and it's
Or put the pill in the hot dog.
yep. And they are so focused on the next hot dog that they don't notice that there's something inside the hot dog. Chris says, given that you're older than me, I'm surprised you never heard of a sofa called a Davenport.
I'm from California. We don't call sofas Davenports.
Dan says, rusted rib rail.
Yep. It's not every car in Mexico is rust free.
Chevrolet says, you could still get Dean's favorite engine in 1979, the 400. Your panty.
Was that the 400M that nobody cared for?
Josh says, neat car.
Looks like it belongs in Canada with Scott, but this one's too colorful. His cars aren't colorful for some reason. He doesn't have any yellows and bright oranges, and and corals and stuff like that. Kind of weird.
They asked me what I wanted inside my pencil case.
And you said
Dark blue or purple.
pencils.
Whatever they're gonna put.
Ebola says we call them Chesterfields in America. Those were cigarettes. Chesterfields were cigarettes. Now you're trying to say a sofa is called a Chesterfield? That's a cigarette.
Dane says they lost the 460 in 78 and I think the 400 in 1979, but the 351M is neat.
Nobody's ever said that before, Dean.
Yeet?
No, nobody's ever said the 351M is neat.
Oh. Chris says Davenport must be a northeastern thing then. Kathy at UTG knew what it was.
I'm sure she would. Definitely from your neck of the woods, Chris. But it's an old-fashioned word.
I'm anxious.
Anxious for what?
I don't know, I just took my pill. So it says, what do you call a caveman who doesn't know where he's going? A Neanderthal.
CD Birdlock says 400M Ford. You got that? 400M Ford was not a racing engine, better for trucks. In the 70s, they just needed the vehicle to get down the road without stalling in an intersection. That was a win for them.
Okay, this God is actually colorblind. He has mentioned it a few times.
Yes, but hasn't he had the option to buy one of the 50s cars with all the fancy colors on it? All of them just look dark blue, gray, black. None of them have any of the fancy colors.
Dean says, I see the M51's I see the 351M's true potential. There you go. I finally said it.
With a lot of work.
This table says, my great grandmother called the sofa a Chesterfield and the refrigerator was a Frigidaire.
Frigidaire was
The brand.
the brand, yes.
Yeah.
But I've never heard a sofa called the same name as a cigarette.
Chris says, yeah, it's an old fashioned term. That's why I'm surprised you don't know it.
Thanks, Chris. I'm not that old.
Dean says, oh, sorry. Wait.
Dean says the 351M would stall at intersections. More like the Chryslers would, the Dodges.
Well, it says she was French.
Oh, well, that may explain it. Maybe she didn't know the name of the U.S. cigarettes. But Chesterfields, if you're going to say they're both named the same, then I bet a lot of Chesterfields ended a lot of couches. You fall asleep on a couch smoking a Chesterfield, your couch is gone. I'm talking to a guy, and he imports these cars, these little Porsches here, into Texas, and then he gets a Michigan title and he puts them on Bring a Trailer, and he says he's making pretty good money on these. You got to get them at the right price. He has a silver one on there right now. These are replicas. They have the Volkswagen engine in them, but people will go for a replica like this in really good condition and everything and pay $30,000 compared to $100,000 or $200,000 for a real one. I wonder how much this would sell for if it had an actual Porsche engine in it. Yeah, probably the house too, Stray Bullet, if you fall asleep. Probably you too, on the couch.
Lester says, but if he can't see the fancy colors, why should he care?
Because he's a YouTuber and it's good for us as viewers to see the pretty cars. Right. Wood steering wheel. There's quite a few of these for sale here, these replicas. I don't see the point of the car. It would not be a comfortable car to drive, a nice car to drive, anything, but people sure as hell like them.
So, says, one of my buddies inherited one of these 1956.
It's a 350. It's a 356.
356 convertibles from his father-in-law.
I wouldn't call it a convertible. Well, maybe.
Silverlock says, are there replicas 4-cylinder?
It's just got the regular Beetle engine, just like this Volkswagen Beetle, the 1600 Boxer engine, Type 1.
It sounds the same.
Yes, it sounds the same.
Mm.
You can put exhaust on it to change it and everything, but yeah.
Okay.
Chris knows that the original Beetle sounds like the Jetsons, the little the bubbling sound. I like that their vehicle sounded like.
There was a 356.
I know
I
what you
meant.
mean, even if Mrs. Spec didn't.
Bueno. ¿Qué es esta?
No, poison. Chris says that's a Beetle tribute car. It's actually based off a Porsche 356 platform. But to get good money out of them, you have to know who the builder was, the whole history behind the car. There's a lot of bad ones out there too. Ray Bullet says it was rusty, but it would have been worth restoring. It was an original one then? Bean or the Cromwell Schaffer Beetle on heat. My uncle he bought a new Porsche 912, the 4-cylinder, and 1968 or somewhere around there, late 60s. And he said he was driving it, I don't know, to Colorado or something, and the top of one of the pistons broke off in the engine. I've heard so many stories like that the just just driving it, something happens in the engine, it just fails. So I've never had any confidence in a Volkswagen engine to get me anywhere that I needed to get. Now driving the 40 kilometers with Adrian's car was not that bad. I was going in and out of traffic, keeping up with the guy that was leading us. But I do not want to drive it cross country.
What about the crosswalk?
I have one of those coming up here.
Hmm.
The Crossfox was fine. Ray Willis says he apparently sold it without doing anything to it. I know he wouldn't. He still probably got decent money. Is it a tribute band or a comprehensive Beatle band? Mm-hmm. The actual ones are worth a lot of money. Lots of money. I don't know why, but they are.
Chris says if Beetle engines were so bad, they would not have sold 21 million of these.
I didn't say they were bad. I just said I've heard a lot
Of
of
them.
lot of comments about it that just out of nowhere they just break. You see a lot of them on tow trucks and stuff, and I don't know. I just don't want to go through that. That was 21 million Beetles, Chris, but other vehicles also had that same engine, so there's a whole lot more out there. But his car was not that old either. It's not like he kept the car for years and years and years. He wasn't like that. Like I said about the mini trucks, we have these Toyota 4x4s here that people are asking good money for it, but they're very, very nice trucks. There's one coming up that looks good. It's got, it's got a lot of stickers on it and stuff, and you'll see how much he wants for it.
How dare you triple it?
Just when you thought German engineering meant good. People trust it all the time, but there's not so many shops around, especially in the U.S., where if you break down with one of them on the highway, there's a local shop that's close to it. You know, Dean says non-water cooled Volkswagen Gol, air cooled VW Beetle engine. Yeah, Stray Bullet. Those Mexican cars must have inferior. I'm talking about U.S. cars. Stray Bullet.
Jay Weiss here.
Hello, Jay Weiss. I've never been called that before. Specky.
I don't like it.
Am I Specky?
No. Dean says go horror playing. There was a good, not good German engineering.
People put a lot of miles on them, but I've just heard lots of stories about just out of the blue they just break and you're stuck. City Burlock, I'd like to see a dual clutch fitted to a VW Bug. That's just complicating something that's simple. Hello, Buff.
Hey, Bob. Here, Brenner now, getting ready for a live in Yuma.
So you're going live tonight? Braden's gonna love that because he's been asking me, "Where's Buff? Where's Buff? Where's Buff?" I said, check his post, check his channel. Oh, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Where's Buff? I don't know why he asks me, but whatever. Stop eating.
No, I'm hungry.
So, see why he says, ever hear of Tartaria? They used airship with no need for gas at all. That history is hidden. Well, no, I haven't. Probably because the history is hidden. Don't know what it is. You can fix practically anything on them on the side of the road. Not when you have the top of a piston broken off. How are you going to take you have to drop the engine, take the heads off, replace the piston, do all that.
Princess, I wonder how much of that engine braking is due to lack of maintenance.
I don't know.
Dean says, above Campo have no backwards game. Dean says they had access to free energy, so they got cancelled. Of the campus, too many long days during the week.
I can believe that. Plus a lot of heat to deal with too. Once you come out of work and the heat just slows everybody down.
Trouble says people use air-cooled Volkswagen engines in home-built airplanes.
Well, that sounds like a problem for them.
Dean says Uncle Tony will tell you all about it if you just ask. Trouble says that never happened, Mexican.
Never happens. What never happens? They never break? I would expect the engine in an airplane to not break because they don't use it very much. It's not like they're doing a cross country trip 3,000 miles in a Beetle, you know, or even worse in a Volkswagen van that's overloaded with people and the engine just can't handle it. So the engine says, "I'm out. That's it." He says, "Buff, did you see what Andy of Unity Garage bought?"
I didn't get it.
Hmm?
It was almost in my hand, but I didn't get it.
Dean, when your whole family goes missing in the 1812 Tartarian mudslide and you cannot tell others about it, it's grim up north. Barracuda's back. He didn't tell us he was leaving, though. You have to announce your departure and arrival, Barry. Stray Bullet. Or have a set of plans to build a two-cylinder Volkswagen airplane engine. Is that boobs?
Oh.
That looks like boobs. The pistons don't break. Yes, they do, Stray Bullet. But like I said, in an airplane, it probably doesn't get the kind of use that a car gets. Starting up, going short distance, turning off, all that kind of stuff.
What are my cat pictures?
Warns the engine. They're coming. You can certainly pop a hole in a piston if your timing isn't set correctly and the engine starts pinging. Chris says that.
Mm-hmm.
Have to announce who says it.
Yes.
And this is a Porsche that they want a lot of money for. You saw the price.
Bob says, I have spent very little time watching YouTube.
Dean, I sensed his goodness had gone from the room, Mexican Spectre, but I didn't like to say. Well, he has to announce his departure. This is like an airport. If you leave, announce your departure so we know you're not going to answer anymore. It's not a top fuel dragster engine. No, it's a Boxster engine. And just like the Subarus, they have problems, lots of problems. But yes, they're easily fixed if you have a mechanic that has everything that needed to fix it. But you're not going to find those shops around the U.S. anymore. Every town in Mexico has somebody like that. plus the parts.
Stray Bullet is not a top fuel dragster engine. Do we have to convince Stray Bullet?
No, I can't convince him about my experience.
Dean says, Bob the Campo, how then will you stay properly informed, Bob? City Bullet says, what do Europeans call convertibles? Is that a joke?
No,
Jesus says, what time will be your live, Bob? Chris says, Cyberlock spiders. Cyberlock, Dean says, Cyberlock ashtrays. Cyberlock says, the Germans don't allow that sort of thing.
broken pistons. They don't care what happens after it's sold from the dealership. The Germans don't care what happens to the vehicle. Look at the V10 BMW engines that grenaded inside. They don't care as long as you pay them for a new. They couldn't care less what happens after that.
How did you do that? You went under the bed.
Oh, good luck coming back out, dog.
Dean says, spiderweb. Tribble says, a drophead coupe steam. Buffett says, I think 10 Central Time.
So 8 o'clock our time.
Dean says, 308 GTS S4 spiderweb. Tribble says, the Europeans are all fancy and stuff.
Yeah, and nobody cares. Not even Europeans. See this? 690,000, 590,000 pesos they want for this van because it's a pop up. Westphalia.
Dean says, with a roof, a 308 GTB Berlinetta.
Berlinetta.
Okay.
Berlinetta is a Camaro. Everybody knows that, Dean.
Trevor says, now you take that 911 for instance. That engine is good for 200,000 miles.
Well, we'll see.
Dean says, I care, Mexican Spectre. That's very hurtful.
You're not European, Dean. You're not even close to being European. You're so far from being European, you can't get any farther. European would be French, Belgian, shit like that. CD Burdock, I heard these had Porsche engines. A Volkswagen van? No. That's your Type 1 1600 right there, maybe even a 1500 at that time. You're not moving that van anywhere. Ah, an Iron Duke Camaro Berlinetta. I don't think they put the four cylinders in the Berlinettas. The four cylinders were in the sport coupes only. How do I know Dean didn't emigrate from New Zealand, from Europe? It would have come up by now, Chris, after all these years. Dean used to be European but was exiled. It's hard to get kicked out of Europe. They accept everybody.
Trevor says, he could be Hawaiian.
He's really far from Hawaii, too. You know where New Zealand is, CD Burlock? Look on a map how far New Zealand is from everybody.
Dean says, 25% French, Polynesian, Barracuda.
Above, how's Kim doing? How is she handling the heat? Is her fingers doing the walking on Facebook Marketplace looking for more cars?
Chris says, Porsche actually did put a flat six engines into about a dozen Volkswagen Transporters for their own use. 262 horsepower.
Oh, I'm sure they did. What did didn't they sell vans and Beetles to the police department in Germany? Police departments in Germany? Did those have just the regular Volkswagen engines, or were those beefed up? The flat six takes up a lot more room than the four cylinder, though. I could see you having room in the van, but I'm not sure about the Beetle to put a six in there, an extra set of heads. I'll admit it's got a nice interior and with the flip up top. I'll admit that. But not for that kind of money. I think people just pull the numbers out of the air.
It's okay, Dean. My family was exiled to America before the Europeans discovered New Zealand.
Dean, we know how the people got to Australia from UK. How did people get to New Zealand? Was New Zealand to Australia what Australia was to the UK, to England?
Dean says Tartarian, but my history was exterminated, so I'm a Sicilian French hybrid via Lancashire, England. My natural grandfather and grandmother were Limeys.
Oh, you know what that means?
Yes.
So you have some European blood. Is England considered part of Europe, or are they off by themselves on their little island? Grey Bullet was sent to America for certain indiscretions, shall we say. We won't tell you to detail them here. We'll try to keep this G rated or PG rated. How much do you guys like red in a Chevy pickup?
Dean says, but Mr. Clayton's dad was an Isard from Sicilian, and his mother, uh, Loudness from France.
Huh. Those are words. Yeah, a white Monte Carlo SS has become available in 1984, four-speed. It's mostly original, still has its heater box and air box. I don't think the steering wheel's original though.
He's singing. Trouble says Britain had to find a new penalty colony when we rebelled and kicked them out of America.
Hmm.
Chris says the English translator just imploded trying to figure that last one out. What a mess to clean up. Lester says don't like red that much.
That was a lot of red. The dashboard, the door panels, the carpet, the seat. Put put a put some blue sunglasses on to get into that truck. Turn everything black, purple. This Monte Carlo has a pretty high price on it because of how original it is, but somebody's gonna pay it because of how original it is.
Trouble says penal. Yes.
Penal.
Joshua says Britain is part of Europe, but they often don't like to admit it.
They're kind of on an island. Because when people think of Europe, they think of the snooty French. I don't think they think so much of English. I don't know. Oh, that's not the original steering wheel. The original steering wheel was wood in this car.
Cityblog says, Buff, did you see that laser parts cleaner?
And somebody put a third brake light in the back window. That's got to go.
Okay.
Well, looks like the air conditioning controls need to be replaced too, because there's a button there that shouldn't be there. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe those are the sliders. I have the wood steering wheel on my 83 Spirit out here that goes in this car. They put it, for some reason, they put a Monte Carlo SS steering wheel on my Spirit, but it's out there. AI
Hmm.
cannot sort out attempt the Voynich manuscript either, Chris.
Chris says 25% of me is offended at your insult of the French. The remaining German 75% of me is nodding in agreement, though. Overbuild is here.
Hello, Overbelt. How are you today?
Polycarofana says 350 4-speed, way better than American version.
That's absolutely true because Chevy in Mexico didn't give a crap about being faster than the Corvette. And it was faster than the Corvette. Definitely, for sure. That's not the shifter that belongs in there either. So it does need a little bit of work to go back to original. But it's a very rare car in this condition with the checkerboard wheels. It's got center caps. Oh my God. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
So says my French great grandmother came to America during World War One because of certain indiscretions, shall we say. Overbill says, what does a military man do while making love? He tactically inserts his unit.
Not like he has many places. Well, I guess he does. But he says, like Grand Prix Dash better. So do I. The Monte Carlo Dash has the two pods, one on either side, and it's just I like the flat dash that's farther away from me. Barracuda, German and French. Good lord. Overbuilt is good. He thanks me for asking.
Dean says AI could sort out the what?
Good luck with that.
Antikythera mechanism, but only because it knew the solar system variables to work out the gear ratios. Chris says Barracuda, the French part is from Alsace, though, so it's kind of weird Germanish Frenchish mix. Alsace.
Hmm. 1969, the best year. 510 sedan. The best year. For obvious reasons. This guy's really proud of this car. His number is way high he wants for this car. And I don't it may be just me, but it looks like the hood is bent down on all of these cars. Chris says, of course 1969 is the best year. It's the year I was born. Well, that and many other reasons. Which Chevy is better, 69 with the front bumper, the wraparound front bumper, or the 70 with the little points on the corners of the bumper? 69, of course. Gray Bullet. The Germans couldn't resist trying to take France for their own. I don't know why they would want it. Barry, I'm of Swahili Congolese extraction. Chris, the bent hood thing reminds me of Peugeot. Maybe they don't even know it's bent. The thing that Dean said, Josh is saying, that's what that click spring guy is working on. Box spring? Overbuilt. My favorite Ford, well, one of them, 78 or 77, any of them that are 70s look. I like all of them through 59, though 59 is different old Ford truck. You're talking about trucks overbuilt? Because when you say Ford, I only think about cars. I never paid attention to trucks. Dean, the Loudness family is of Anglo-Norman roots derived from a place name meaning grove under, or from Louvain in Belgium, eventually established roots in Cheshire, England. Overbuilt. We got a beater 64 C10 long bed step side. It's rough as a cob, but easily fixed. They bullet. I could never figure out their obsession with France, either Mexican.
Did you tell people about Durango?
Not yet. D. Burlock says, the mosquito here went past me. What about the Camaro CAM ARO
Camaro.
1970 short bumpers, open grill?
Why
Split
Camaro?
bumper. Split bumper is what it's called.
Hmm?
Split bumper, it's called.
But why Camaro?
He spelled it ERO. It's spelled ARO. But he says prefer 70 split bumper Camaro over 69. Could be. Cat grin, Dean says. Lester says fancy colors usually sell for more than dull colors. Yeah, car companies today don't know that. Belgian people are like a French hybrid, Dean says. We'll take your word for it. Everybody likes Herbie, right? Where's Luis? Luis would know what this car is. Touch my foot. Morelos. In Morelos.
There's cat hair on the microphone.
I didn't do it. It's Herbie.
You
That's
weren't
a famous
interviewing the cat?
Volkswagen. Technically not. It would be. This would be like Herbie's great grandson. Grandson maybe, since Herbie was a '63 and this is a '90s model. How many generations is that from the '60s to the '90s?
Hmm.
So be on the lookout. There's a mosquito around here that's really big.
Yeah.
You just move that way.
No te llevas mi micrófono. Dame.
Hmm. The Herbie thing is so overdone. I don't see very many of them with as many Volkswagens as we have here. Very few people do this to the car, but people will put the orange and the '01 on anything.
Doorbell says truck cars are all good to me. I like old trucks lower resto model. Resto model?
Mm-hmm.
Not on airbags, lower to handle curbs, that type of build. No silly cheap wheels with no sidewalls. I hate that on it.
That should not be allowed.
Joshua says, so are the Bluesmobile clones.
Yeah, definitely.
Sí, ¿cuál es uno?
And all of us that love hearses hate all the ectos out there. They'll make an ecto out of anything.
Oh, yeah.
That just destroys the car.
Lester says 1.5 generation.
That's all.
Orville says, never got the giant rims or stand stretch tires.
People don't, especially the young people, they don't know what a comfortable car should be that has enough tire to absorb the road. Now, if I had one of those vehicles that had the rubber band wheels and I drove it on one of the highways out here in Mexico, it would last about 3 minutes. The first pothole I hit, it would bend the rim, we'd be on the side of the road. It's just impossible to drive with one of those here.
Chris says, three generations of Beetles, all air-cooled Beetles. The new Beetle from 98 to 2010 to
Mm-hmm.
shush, or so, and the Beetle from 11 or so until 2019 or so.
2019. Didn't they make it longer than that?
So
I thought it was just a couple of years ago that they discontinued the Beetle.
So it says you can never have too much Camber though, Orville.
Oh, okay, you're right because yeah, my buddy died in 2021, and I was talking to him about buying the last edition Beatles. It's been 5 years.
Well,
Crazy. Time flies. Not have too much camber. I like just enough to drive down the street straight without touching the steering wheel. Okay, guys, did you see what this car is called? It's not a Tempo and it's not a Topaz. This is called a Ford Ghia, Ghia. Yes, like the people in France that were doing cars for Ford, Renatas and stuff.
Lester, no, it's Danny Gatto.
Yes, not Joey. Joey's outside enjoying the heat. I tried calling him in, he didn't come. So this one has the V6 under the hood and an automatic. Probably still shifts like crap. But this was the top of the line Tempo Topaz that was sold in Mexico. The Ghia. Look at the interior in a Tempo. The plush interior, the tufted seats and everything. They really made the interior nice in this car to get the money out of it. You don't expect to see that in a Tempo. Because when you think Ford Tempo of this generation, you think rental car. That's it. That's it. I mean, who in their right mind would buy one of these from the dealership? Not me.
Um,
Overbuilt.
Orville says, I live where there is a lot of curves, so 40 to 45 series tires sidewall is my go-to car tire size, not balloon stuff.
Oh, okay.
Chevrolet says the Germans and Ghia cars also.
Mm-hmm.
Orville says nice car seats red.
Now this car is really hard to find.
Hmm.
One of these because when they got done with taxi service, they crushed them. They all went to the junkyard. This one appears to be an original taxi car because of the patina and everything on it. It only has the one seat inside. This is exactly how they were used in Mexico City. When you got into one of these, you got in for the passenger door and you sat in the back seat and you had enough room for one piece of luggage or whatever, and that's it. If there were two people, if there are three people in there, they're sitting on the floor where the passenger seat would be.
Dan says graphic equalizer. Dean says, sorry, Chris says they made a V6 5-speed version of the Tempo that was quite lively.
I don't remember seeing a 5-speed in a V6 though.
Dean says Ford finest on road device.
It was always for off-road driving.
Josh Schumann says not the first time a low rent car was given a fancy name.
Yep. But most of these were crushed, so to actually see one driving on the street, doesn't have a license plate, but to actually see one complete is odd. Because when they don't have auctions or anything, when the police are done with the police trucks, they go straight to the junkyard. They don't sell them. They don't sell them to anybody. They don't sell them to the public. You can buy parts off them at the junkyard, but you can't buy the whole thing.
But yeah,
Come on, get to the interior. Stray Bullet, the law changed in Mexico City where all taxis had to have 4 doors for safety purposes. So this is, you can see there was no seat. There was never a seat there on the passenger side. So this was an original taxi. Even has the meter inside. A lot of good that did. You just paid them whatever they told you or they didn't let you out of the car. Ford owns rental drivers. Doesn't make any sense, Dean. And then here's another Volkswagen, but somebody customized this. Aren't these the newer Beetle wheels that were on the Golf Beetle?
So it says, what is that tank in the trunk?
In the trunk of what? In the tank of which one?
Chris says, the Dean fucker only runs downhill. Barracuda says, damn my fat fingers, I meant to say Danish, German, Scottish. Dean says, the price will go up if you don't pay now.
Yeah, that's why they went to four doors. You were kind of stuck in one of those Beetles if the driver didn't want to let you out. But they used them for a lot of years, heading around Mexico City.
Nobody says, the taxi, and not the gas tank.
What else was in there? There was something on one side. I don't know. Chris might know what they put under there.
Dean says, Ford wasn't you to rent their car and never own it. Ford owns rental drivers just like Tesla. Ford doesn't want you to rent their cars.
Ford want you to rent their car and never own it. When was that? I can tell you what's under the hood of this one. It's the tank for the suspension and stereo equipment. I nailed that one. That looks like I don't know about putting so many wires in a Volkswagen Beetle for a stereo system like that. I don't know about that. I saw in a Facebook group about Volkswagen vans. There was a picture of a bay window burning to the ground, all the flames and everything. Like, oh, they're so sad. They're asking for money. You know, it's some other country, some whatever. And a guy in the comments asked something about, he wants to make sure that doesn't happen. I told him to change his fuel lines every 6 months because they're just garbage quality. Do not let it go.
It says, when you have to subscribe to fix your car.
Oh, okay.
Chris says, the white tank, washer, fluid tank. Chevrolet says, oh, that let me out. You don't want to mess with me when I'm behind you.
I'm not sure about that, Stray Bullet. Of course, they probably only preyed on people they knew they could control, small people, women, stuff like that. Did you guys see the latest? Well, actually, not this week, but last week's Rich Rebuilds video. He has a Lucid in there, and it's up on the rack, and he's like, "Well, you know why all the wheels were curved, right? Because the driver was." And they cut away when he started to say "what" like that. He's a funny guy.
Chevrolet says, no driveway on the passenger side fender. Oh, no driveway on the passenger side fender. Chevrolet says, oh, I think so. Where are the pictures of my cat?
They're coming up in the 40s. Not sure.
40s?
Not sure how many cars we've
How
already
many
looked at.
pictures have we seen if they're coming up in the 40s?
They're number 40.
How many pictures have we seen if they're coming
I
up on the
don't
40s?
know. I don't number them. Got 'em.
How many pictures have we seen?
I don't know. I'm not saying 40 pictures, 40 vehicles.
We're only halfway. I don't like you.
They're coming up. There'll be a surprise. A little bit before that is the same surprise from last week.
Oh.
People are gonna. I hope you guys haven't eaten anything.
I ate. Well,
Hope you guys haven't eaten anything because I have one coming up that you're going to love. Not this one, but 540,000 pesos for a Land Rover. Land Cruiser. These have never called my interest either, but people seem to love them. but I'm not paying 20 something thousand dollars for one of them. Almost 30. Not me. Dan, you might see them again when you see the vehicle that I have in here. Isn't he Italian? Yes, of course it is.
Chevrolet says, I haven't had my supper yet. Lester says, I just ate a hamburger. You're making me
Lester.
hungry.
Lester.
I'm
Uh
hungry.
oh.
I'm hungry.
I ain't paying no 50 cents for no Coke. Who said that, Dan? Yes, Chris, that's what he's asking about. Charcoal canister, maybe? I don't know why people like these Land Cruisers.
Will the trail is here?
Hello, Will.
Dean says FJ60 Land Cruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says, Dan, then you ain't getting no coke. Capiche? Dan says, Nick Denuncio. Dean says, I triple it. Chris says, yeah, I think it's a charcoal canister.
It's pretty big, though, for a very small car. Yes, the dependability of these Land Cruisers is what people like. It is an automatic, though. When's the last time you saw one of these? You have never seen one. What are you even answering for? These things used to be so cheap. I'd buy them at the auction and make a couple $100 on them.
What? What? Will this girl says, I just turned 34 today. Hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Will.
You're so young. You're just a baby. How are you celebrating? Thanks for being here celebrating your birthday with us. Are you doing something else? What is this here for?
It was on the floor.
Doesn't go on the bed.
Jimny. No, stray bullet. We don't call them Jimneys. This is a Suzuki Samurai, and it's a JX model. They used to come up at the dealer auction all the time, and there's such an easy sell. They sold so quickly. But they're very expensive these days. That's because people that buy them now have never driven one. That was not a joke. You don't have to laugh. Danny, shush. Your pictures are not coming up first. The dog is coming up first. Just not sure where.
Will says, I just had a pizza dinner with my family.
Oh, that sounds good. I haven't had pizza in over 10 years.
Oh, it was good pizza. It says, welcome to your birthday. Check it up like it's your birthday. Will the just says, thank you all for the birthday wishes. Let's just have a birthday, Will. Dan says, Jiminy Cricket.
No, just Jiminy. Suzuki Jiminy.
Treble is Japanese today for some reason. Will says, what I would like for my birthday is a Mexican 302 blog from 1985.
Hey, Will, I have a guy that is going to be buying a carryall from me, and he wants to put he wants to put a 460 in it, so he's going to be taking the 302 block out. So we may put you two together. I'm not sure what I'm going to be delivering it to him in Nogales, so he's on the West Coast somewhere. But you may be able to get it from him, and it might be an 85. I have to look to see what year he's looking at. He's looking at a white one, and he's checking things out with the customs agent. So the engine might be available for what you want.
Oh, happy birthday present. Happy birthday, what's it called? Miracle.
Carry y'all. Yeah, carry on.
Did you just hit your head? I think you just hit your head.
You'd have to work out with him how to get the engine to you, but and I don't know how soon he's going to do it because he wants to make it into a family vehicle for him. And the one we have picked out had air conditioning from the factory, so I don't know if he wants me to fix the air conditioning here or he's going to do it over there.
Entonces, what does mean la del jefe? It means
The
um
boss or of the boss.
of the boss, like
the
one,
bosses.
the bosses, like the one that belongs to the boss.
Mm-hmm. So this here's the everybody's favorite vehicle. Hopefully you guys didn't eat anything. Sorry, Lester, if the hamburger's gonna come back up. And keep in mind, with as pretty as this van is, the name of the company is GAC. So it kind of fits, doesn't it? The brand GAC. I knew it was everybody's favorite, so I left it in from last week. The nightmare van.
Why do you like torturing people?
There you see, Lester. See, I told you. Be careful, Lester. You're gonna have to eat the hamburger again. Sorry about that, Josh.
Chris says gag, as in god awful crap. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's the Chinese for you. They don't think about names or anything else. They don't care. Like BYD, build your dreams. Ooh.
What?
I haven't seen one of these on the road, probably because they want over 1,000,000 pesos for it. For this. That's real money.
It looks like it's hair on the back.
Kind of shaped. Weirdly shaped.
Yeah. George Thomas is not a problem. Dean says 85Z. What?
85ZY6015AA. A great made in Mexico block B.
Yeah.
I hope these vans.
Sácalo, por favor.
I hope these vans don't take over for like passenger vans. You know, they drive all over town delivering people. I would not want to see that. Danny, shush.
Entonces send that pilot shit back to China.
You guys don't have to see it on your roads. They're not allowed into the U.S. I mean, to drive, yes, but not to sell.
It looks.
You think anybody would buy this thing in the U.S.?
It looks comfy.
Yeah, it does. Well, they always do more to the interior. You have your iPads and all that stuff.
Dean says Automatron Army Invasion. Trey says I never knew the entire intensification of the universe could be condensed into 4 weeks.
Okay, Danny, you're going out. Watch for the wall of heat that hits your face. Bye. Joey. Gato Spec. Come on. Who yelled switch?
Somebody did.
We just switched cats.
Orville's is low Mexican Spec. I thought it was made by Cartu Clone Time or Chicom Brother Religion. And Wildrill says, just let me know the mileage of that on that 85 carryall that the potential buyer wants to do the 460 swap.
We have no way of knowing because they're 5-digit odometers, but if you get the engine, just take it apart and refresh it. I'm obviously gonna drive it all the way halfway across the country to deliver it to them, so it's gonna be a good running vehicle. The engine's gonna be good running. It's not gonna be a problem with that.
Well, the drill says your cat might be hungry or just wants attention.
I think he just wants a kick in the butt. That's what he wants.
Dan says Gato Spec has entered.
Yes, he has.
Orville says, meow, cats love cats.
Okay, you got your scratch. Now shut the hell up. Yes? We have pictures coming up of the dog, a deceased cat. Well,
Don't say that,
well,
Dad.
she's our old cat, and then Danny, and then Gato Spec.
Chris says, you know the Chinese van was bad when switching to a Ford actually made me feel better.
Hi, ¿qué quieres? Well, no tengo. Oh, not too bad.
Dean says, MN12.
Mm-hmm.
Dan says, El Gato Muerte. No.
She died last year, so these are pictures we have of her. I think the dog is first. U.S. Spec? I don't think so. They sold them here with kilometers on the dash wheel. Lots of manuals. Lots of manuals like this one.
Oh, he was hungry. He's eating.
How do you know it's him? Yeah, it's a manual. I wouldn't put it on here if it wasn't a manual.
Nicholas says, I was 34.
I think you might notice that the Mexican spec part of these Thunderbird SCs, they have no leather interior. They're all cloth interior. Leather wasn't a thing here.
Alright, are you like really late on the chat?
Ray Bullet says that China van is probably an excellent vehicle like that Pontiac van thing that was years ago. I wouldn't say that.
That says Pontiac Asterisk. Dean says in 1998.
The Pontiac Trans van. I don't think they would come out with something like that named today.
Trevor says the worst looking cars always seem to be the most durable.
Or people just buy them, put them in the garage, and never use them because they don't want to be seen in them. And then you see them 20 years later. Hey, look, that thing's still around. Yeah.
Will says that explains why the Tiber was a V6 due to the V8 ban on cars.
Yep.
Regular says yep.
But they also put 5-speed manuals in the base models here in Mexico, so it's a little bit more fun to drive.
Dean says 28 years late, regular. Will says yes, the Aztec.
I wouldn't really call the Aztec a van. That's more like an SUV type thing. There's no sliding doors on an Aztec. I think it's based on a car chassis too, or a whatever they make up.
Orwell says I get to have a horde of cats in heaven. Lady died. Was telling about Jesus and her little dog and cats were there talking with her. I look forward to it.
I dread it overbuilt because I've had so many. I've rescued so many animals here in Mexico, dogs and cats, and if that is actually true, they are gonna jump all over me when I get there because they never forget.
There was this big Pontiac.
They never forget the street animals. Very loyal. Once you start feeding them and taking care of them, make them part of your pack, they're very loyal animals.
Orville says yes. Six for the win. Nothing sucks the life out of especially cool cars like old autos, 3 speeds hot.
Yeah,
Will says what's nice about that is for the V8 powered US spec you can perform manual swaps on the V8 Seabirds here.
that sounds like a lot of work though. What transmission do you put in there?
Dean says lick Mexican specter. Orville says yep, they will be there.
Oh boy. Oh boy. When I lived in the other house before we moved here, my pack was 5 or 6 dogs all the time. Even if one dies, another one shows up at the door asking to be part of the pack. So there's a lot of them.
For instance, unlike a certain other chat member, I'm letting you know now that I'm going out to the kitchen and that we'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Chris. We all appreciate it here.
Orville says jumping all over us. Yes, love it.
T5 transmission. Oh, good. Oh, from the Mustang. Okay. Overbuilt. A dog used to come to my door. I guess word got around the area that I lived in, the neighborhood, that I had food. So he would come and scratch on the door. So I would sit there with him and I would take bugs off him, the fleas or ticks or whatever. And after I did that, I would give him some food. So this became a thing. And every once in a while, he'd come back to the house and ask for some more food. And eventually, he just stayed and became part of my pack. Now, before he was part of my pack, there was a Great Dane that lived on the next block over, and he came at this little dog, and the dog turned on his back and asked for mercy. Right, that was very clear. His tail was down. What little tail he had was down, and and he asked for mercy. Once he became part of my pack, his tail was up, his ears were up. He was confident. He had the backing of the whole pack, so that didn't ever. He never threw himself on the ground again when another dog came around, because all five of them would be there together. It was very interesting to watch that whole thing.
Chester?
Yep, Chester.
Dean says it was the Mad Dog center hole punch clutch gearbox, not the nicest thing to service. Orville says, Father, no, we will feed them and such. Dean says, no, it was the M50D for Mazda. Arturo says, it looks like Chester Conklin. Dean says, the same as the supercharged 3800 SC.
Barry, check on your screen and see if you have the live button on red, because I think you're behind in the chat. The same as a supercharged 300 SC. That fits on the V8 engine too. But he says, if your wife dies and you get married again, what wife do you go with in heaven? That ain't gonna happen.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to go through that again.
oh yeah.
Pedro Spec is gangsta. This was a very, very old dog. This was from like 15 years ago. But there was a lot of them like that. We saved a bigger dog, spent a lot of money at the vet. He turned out to be one of the best dogs we ever had, the favorite of everybody. You know, Overbuilt says, that's a nice story. Yep. A plus plus plus. Love wins every time.
Leslie says, I would not want to pay for food for a Great Dane.
The owners didn't. They just shoved him out in the street. He was always in the street. He would People would put their garbage out and he would eat that. I don't think they fed him anything.
Dean says, Body Carfano, that one is easy. Chris says, I have not returned to my assigned place on the Davenport.
Oh, that's good. And also, Lester, when I would go out there, not with my pack, but when I would go out there by myself, he would come over to me, to get scratches and have bugs taken off him and everything. I did that with so many street dogs. I still do it with street dogs. If I come across a street dog, the first thing I'll do is I'll scratch their head. If there's any bugs on there, I'll get the bugs off of them. And that's just what I did. That's what I've done for the past 27 years on all of the animals here. I'm a professional tick hunter and flea hunter. I know what they do. I know how they do it, and I haven't found any fleas on the cats in a long time. Have not found any ticks on my dogs, but there's two dogs that live in the front. I can't get near the black one. He's a male and he's protective. But the other one is a big dog, but he's not a big breed, I don't think. But he won't let me get into his ears or anything. I need to take the bugs off out of his ears. He won't let me do that. But I get a couple as I'm scratching them. But both dogs are wasting away, like the owners are not feeding them at all. So the last time we were at the store, we bought a bag of food, and I'll go out there every once in a while and give them a cup of food, and they scarf it right down, because you can see when these dogs used to be filled out nice. Now they're getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and I don't like that. Yeah, Stray Bullet, an Opel GT in Mexico, and they want a lot of money for it, and I don't think it's worth anything.
Margaret says, do they have mother-in-laws in heaven?
Probably not, because
Mm,
it's heaven.
mine? I
Hmm?
mean yours?
I don't know.
It says the Pharisees wasted no time in asking that question with musical chairs. So what it says, it's like a cute little Corvette.
Yeah, it was always called the baby vet. Just very different how you open the headlight. And I'm not sure I would have enough strength in my upper body to open up those headlights to turn them over. This was the Toyota truck I was telling you about. The guy gave me a price. It's like 365,000 pesos, but such a nice truck.
Chris asked very good. Is it mother-in-laws or mothers-in-law? I think it's mothers-in-law.
Mothers-in-law. Yeah.
Dean says the Australian Aborigines figured out how to sort the mother-in-laws out very good. Orville says I used the red Eastern Setter chips in yard to get rid of all bugs. Sad people not feeding critters.
It's their dogs. They keep them in the backyard and everything, but they're just wasting away.
Dean says in many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures, the relationship with a mother-in-law is governed by strict avoidance.
Good for them. Barracuda, do they have
Let me
bad
get,
grammar in heaven?
let me get.
No, you just do your job. Do they have bad grammar in heaven? I bet in parts of heaven they do. I bet you. Although if it was really heaven, people wouldn't talk at all.
Okay.
Stray Bullet, just what everyone needs. A 98 horsepower 4x4 mini truck. Yes, everybody does need one, Stray Bullet. Everybody. What do you want? Your pictures haven't even come up yet. So for you to be embarrassed.
Why is it so late?
Not late.
It is.
It isn't.
It is.
Hopefully not, Barracuda. I wouldn't want to ruin it, Dean says. Bad grammar in heaven? That's impossible, Chris says.
Impossible.
Impossible, yes. Cold water. Of course, some people don't know they're speaking bad grammar because they were never taught the correct grammar in the first place. Overbuilt. My bad grammar on Zeal Earth. Lots of typos, too. Inconceivable. Really me? Yeah. We read what you mean, Overbuilt, not what you type. The brain just fills in the holes. 53,900 kilometers on this Oldsmobile. I got to get one of these for myself. This Olds Eurosport with a 5-speed manual. And imagine how great that thing drives on the highway. Danny Boyd's grammar ain't that bad. Wasn't ain't added to the dictionary, so it's not bad grammar anymore anyway?
But they could have found us this. Hope there's classic cars in heaven.
Well, if it's heaven, then there will be. Although, to be honest, the only thing that makes sense to me is this is hell where we are. You make it good or you make it bad, that's your choice.
Triple is my grammar is impeccable. Chris says, did you get your Stalin problem sorted out yet, Nick?
On that, we just took it to AutoZone to get it scanned. The code that came up was a bad temperature sensor, which it probably needs,
Oh, pictures.
But that does not. What?
Pictures.
Did you already pass them?
No, they're right there.
I'm seeing a truck.
I'm live.
I'm seeing a truck. Did they pass without me noticing it?
Oh, they're random. Okay. Ew. ¿Cómo chingas? Wait on.
Moving back. Okay, this is our dog, Oscar, because it says right there, our dog Oscar. You can see the cat there stole his bag, so he's looking up at mommy. Please get the cat out of there. And then there he is laying on the floor trying to get cool. Yeah, this floor. We only had 2 pictures of him. So now here's a Volkswagen Caddy. Overbuilt says, I suck at spelling. Ain't got no scene neither. Not much anyhow. That gummit. Now you're jealous because the dog was on there, huh? Got those pics?
Dean says, Father, you made 6 grammatical errors in this massive sermon.
Okay, but you were right, Stray Bullet, but that does not explain the lack of the gauges working when I put the key on the on position. So it's only one of the problems.
Dean says, that's
Which
okay,
I'm gonna have to
lady. I
fix
wasn't
and
talking to you anyway.
I have to fix and figure it out.
Entonces, perros. Uno es burrillo.
Hey Chris, the color of the outside, now you look at the color of the inside, it's shocking on this little Volkswagen.
Chris says, your Oxford pics just went by. Orville says, just the spelling, I ain't got no scene, neither, not much anyhow. That's coming. What color is that?
Bright blue in a whatever. This is Juia. Her real name was Sacagawea, but we shortened it to Juia, and she died over a year ago. This was Mrs. Spec's cat.
Yes.
That thing on her eye we never had taken care of.
She was too old to have surgery.
Yeah, we couldn't do it. Yeah, only 2 pictures. They went quickly.
I gave you more than 2 pictures.
Where's Uno? This is a 2010 Sabiero. Sabiero that can be imported into your country.
I gave you a beautiful picture of Julia with a bow. What was it?
I don't know. We still have Danny's pictures first.
Our boss is Ocker Dog. Cool. Hercules says, I'm a Great Dane. Well, a pretty good one. Anyway. Triple says, that was nothing more than a complete off of the top of my head deck.
But that's only one of the problems. Okay, you can go out too. You can go out too.
It says, Orville, it wasn't no one there to teach us no better. Then it says, this here is yummy. Chris says, my heart weeps at the color of that interior. Triple says, I guess even a blind hog can dig up a root every once in a while. Dean says, it's better, Mexican Spectre. Watch your mouth out.
They said it's beautiful. But the comparison of the exterior color with the interior color is crazy.
Dan says, Rich Thank you, Dan. Dean says, minty fresh. Triple says, even a broken clock tells the correct time twice a day.
If it's not digital.
Dan says, I want a cañonero. Cañonero. Do you remember cañonero?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Chris says, Dan, it's currently being sold as a Hummer EV. Triple says, we need these trucks here. Dan says, a broken 24-hour clock is only correct once a day. Dean says, San Francisco is así evicts anomalous. Dan says, arrest me, red.
It doesn't go fast enough to get arrested.
Chevrolet says, why don't you work to import those here, Mexican?
Because they're too new. They have to be 25 years old. The older style of this can be imported, but people still want a lot of money for these, even though they're 25 years old. That's the problem. These can be imported into Canada because they're 15 years up there.
So there's 2 problems.
Yeah.
Orville says, Mexican Spec, I had a Volkswagen Caddy. Wait
for that. This is Danny. He's the orange cat. And there's a very cute picture coming up. There we are. Dr. Spec and Danny on the bed.
Before he was Dr. Spec.
Now Danny is his cat. He stole the cat fair and square from a neighbor, and then he brought it to me.
Fair and square.
Yeah. Mexican Spec. I had a VW Caddy. Its alternator voltage regulator died. Blue headlight out. August, everything literally puked up 38 volts, revving up. Ooh, that's a lot. I could write a letter to President Trump. Now, this car on the screen is a 2011 Volkswagen CrossFox. I bought a new one in the end of 2010, but mine was Lamborghini yellow, and I had to pay extra for that color. But yeah, this one is orange, the special color, and the yellow was also a special color. But it was an interesting car, just not my style. I like old cars.
Jesus family engine. Orville says never had a car alternator die and do that high voltage crap, but once on the silly Volkswagen.
Mm-hmm.
Dan says Danny is orange.
Danny is orange. That's why his name is Danny Bonaducci.
Orville says Kit Kat, love Danny. Chris says, oh, orange tabby. Our last cat was an orange tabby. Dean says Danny tired him out.
Yeah. The picture was taken quite a while ago, Stray Bullet. So, yeah. That tells you how old Danny is, too. Yes. And he looks like it, Chris, Doogie Howser of Mexico. He looks like it even now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had this thing for 2 years and then sold it. And what I sold it for when it was 2 years old in 2013, people are still asking the same price now with 175,000 kilometers on them. And here we have Gato Spec. He's the mouthy one. I took these pictures last night. He wasn't expecting to have pictures taken of him. What?
I hate you.
What? Oh?
I
Yeah, he does have a little bit of orange, Dan. He sure does. So now you know what our animals look like.
Alpha Bra.
Lamborghini yellow. Yeah, I had to pay extra for that.
I
Overbuilt.
apologize about the.
Don't even mention it. Overbuilt. Looks like a fun hot hatch to thatch. The runabout, just like old stuff. 88 Celica was a fun front wheel drive. Yeah, should have stayed rear wheel drive though. I believe meow matters. Cats are good people. Yeah, when they keep their mouth shut. Yeah, he's a cool cat, overbuilt. When we both in the bed at night, he likes to cuddle up to Mrs. Speck. I'm the one that feeds him, but I get nothing. Danny always comes to me for scratchies though. He's got hair. His hair does not fall out like the white one does. The white one leaves hair all over the house. But what are you gonna do? We leave the door open for the dog's room. The cats go out whenever they want. They're not inside cats. They're not outside cats. They do both. So they're as happy as they can be. You're welcome, Lester.
Lee says, I offer my condolences, Mr. Speck.
For Julia.
He says, I get no respect.
My cat refuses to be intimate with me. That sounds like a personal problem, Barry. I don't know why you would want that. Whenever they're hungry, they come to me. But she doesn't give them nothing. Whenever I have dinner, both cats sit there and I give them a little something when I'm done, whether it's a piece of chicken or they get to lick the spaghetti sauce off my plate, whatever. But he curls up with her. She won't even give the cat her bowl uh, with tuna when she's done.
I don't like them. Um, what is it called?
I didn't want to go there, Chris. Did not
Oh,
want to go there. Hey, if any of you guys know anybody that wants to buy a Volkswagen Safari, the guy that I'm talking to that imports cars into Texas and gets the Michigan titles, he has two Safaris, two Volkswagen things that he imported. They'll be available as soon as he gets the Michigan title on them. It is pretty clean, Stray Bullet. It could use a cleanup and a painting, but other than that,
Dean says, I've been betting you cat smells orange stool on your fingers very good. What? Chris says, I'm only repeating what the North Islanders keep telling me. Orville says the IRGC guys and alike think they are getting 72 Billy Goat virgins when they pass slow.
Billy Goat Virgins.
Percola says never had any luck with sheep. They are fickle.
Why are you asking their opinion?
Triple says he's a reseller of safaris.
He's importing. He was doing all Volkswagens, and he's the guy that imported that Porsche 356 replica that's on Bring a Trailer right now. But he did two Safaris, and one of them had a hardtop when he bought it. And he has a guy on the Mexican side. The guy transfers the car, he says, and he crosses it into Texas and delivers it to him. Well, he crossed it into Texas. The hardtop disappeared, and the guy's like, "Well, the hardtop got lost. How do you lose a bolted-on hardtop? You can't." What that means is he had a buyer for the hardtop, and he stole it and he delivered the car to the guy. He says, "Oh, but the guy didn't charge me for crossing him." Well, great. You got $600 of free crossings for a $1,500 top. That was a great deal for him. If it was a soft top, I could have seen, it flying off in transport or something, but not a bolted on hard top. You can't trust anybody. Absolutely cannot. The guy told me last night he needs to get one more car for a transport. He likes to move four at a time. He has three of them already, and he needs to find one more. So he sent me pictures of a '73 Chevy C10 long bed last night, and he says, "Oh, it's got a great color. It was red and white." I said, "But look at the seat. It's got a blue seat in a red truck. That doesn't make sense." And then all these other things, and the bed has damage in it. And I sent him a picture of the right front fender that has body damage on it. He says, "Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I'm out." You got to look at the whole thing. But he's trying to find one close to where the transport is going to leave from in Puebla, which is where the Volkswagens came from. The fact the dog's outside. Oh well, okay.
You already fed him, right?
Yes, I fed him at 4 o'clock, an hour early, so I didn't have to feed him an hour late at 6 o'clock, which it is right now. Yeah, stray bullet. The Safaris, you could get a hard top on them or the soft top that folds up. Yeah, hard tops don't just disappear. It's like a Jeep Wrangler. How would a hardtop just disappear off a Jeep Wrangler?
This says you can't trust all of us in the chat.
Most probably. What
You can't trust anyone. Trust me.
exactly? But you know what trust me means. So Hope you guys know what trust me means. Overbuilt says, yep, look all it and price versus damage. Yeah, he's. I don't think a 73 Chevy T10 long bed would be worth shipping all the way up to the U.S. to try to make any money off of it. I don't think so. Short bed maybe, but not the long bed. And then I asked him if he's ever done a liquid cooled combi, and he says no. So I started sending him links on those. So he may be buying one of those. I don't know. I'd love to see another one on Bring a Trailer and see what it brings, because the last two were like 2 years ago, and they brought 13,000, and the other one brought 17,000, and that's a pretty good number for for a Mexican combi. Because the big advantage on those vans is you can put air conditioning in them. So Chris says Barracuda. From our I gathered from our frequent discussions. Mm-hmm. Overbuilt. Only if you take it off and steal it. Exactly. It has to be unbolted from the vehicle so it doesn't just disappear. Overbuilt. Trust me, bro. Wink, wink. Smile, smirking like a jackass. Well, everybody knows that, especially Jewish people, so when somebody says trust me, it's the same thing as saying fuck you. We all know this. So if I ever say trust me, you'll know exactly what I'm saying to you.
Mm.
This is a US Jeep. This has a V8 under a 360 AMC V8 under the hood, and it's a very nice truck. Well, who was I looking at it for? Stop it. Who was I looking at it for? Oh, the guy that wanted a Wagoneer already bought one in the US. I was looking at this to post it because when I saw the V8 under the hood, I'm like, how's that there? And then that's when he told me it's a US truck. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes more sense. Like when a white guy says 100%. Yeah. I asked my supplier because this thing is missing the front side marker lights, and we have the complete side marker light, the bezel, and the lens to go on this thing. But he says this is a 73, but it has a 74 front end, and he says this is the way I got it. So
Someone says being Jewish has nothing to do with how trustworthy you are.
no, it doesn't. But when somebody says trust me, you have to know what they're saying to you. There was a 401 in Wagoneers, stray bullet. That was a pretty big engine for those things. Yeah, this is pretty nice. A lot of it has been redone, the new interior and everything. The money's been put into this thing, and it would probably sell for quite a bit of money over there. But I don't know really what the paperwork is like if he has the title and all that. And it's way up in Monterrey, Nuevo León.
This is the one that I sent you.
I don't know how that didn't get in there. I don't know. 76 Duster. First thing I notice is the brand new tires. Clean the blue off the white walls. And it's very purple. Purple. Purple bumpers. Even more purple inside.
Why are the tires blue?
Because they're brand new. White walls.
Um,
You got to clean that stuff off. The longer you leave it on there, the harder it is to get off. I've done that too. Mexican Spec, odd question, but here it goes. What's your thoughts on dating, marrying a woman 17 years younger? That said guy Has a good dude, not a creep. I don't know the gal. How many years are there between us? 22, I think.
22.
There's 22 years between us, so it's fine. That's exactly how it should be. The older man and the younger woman. So the man can be financially set, the younger woman can take care of him when he's in diapers. That's the perfect setup.
It
There,
depends on
there,
how young she is too,
there's
as well.
there's only a few. Well, yeah, it depends on the ages, but there's only a few drawbacks where Mrs. Spec doesn't like the fact that I've had some experiences that I don't want to have anymore, and she wanted to have those experiences, like going to clubs and stuff like that. I hate those. Hate clubs.
Also, it's difficult. Like when I want to go out with my friends, it's difficult to ask him to join me because he doesn't do the same things that my friends do. Not that my friends do anything crazy, but he's just not. It's not the same type of environment for him.
No, it's not. Maybe I could start a relationship advice channel. No, because nobody would take my advice, Stray Bullet,
My calf
because I'm
hurts.
very, very straightforward with things like that. And it's also a different situation coming from being in Mexico so many years. Because when I was in the U.S., especially living in a place like Las Vegas, every woman you meet wants something from you.
I want something
She
from
doesn't care about you, she wants something from you. So it was a very different thing coming to Mexico. Chris says, I know somebody who's married to a woman maybe 13, 15 years younger than he is. It works out.
you. It just depends on the people.
Yes, it does. Mrs. Beck and I make a good match. You've all seen it. You've all seen us interact together on all of our lives and everything, on the highway. We work well, very well together. I could answer relationship questions. You mean like love line? I think my answer would mostly be it's not that important. I'm stalking my ex. It's not that important. Find yourself a hobby. Hello, Don, one-eyed cat.
Hey Don,
Thicker
what's
tires. I'm down for a good rubber. Hello, all. Overbill says, I hated clubs when I was 20 years old. Fucking hate clubs, but I go in there and the beating music hurts my chest. I just can't be around. I just can't be there. Not at all. Stray Bullet. Nobody takes my advice either, but you see, it doesn't stop me from giving it unsolicited. Well, yeah, maybe it'll stick in their head. Overbuilt. Yeah, women like that, Miami types are gross. Oh, you wouldn't even believe it. I was with a Puerto Rican girl in Vegas, and she broke up with me. The reason she broke up with me was because I don't do drugs. The second reason is because she wanted me to buy her a house. I was already living in a house. My father bought a house there. I was living there. I didn't need a house. And on top of that, she was still married to her husband who was in jail at Nellis Air Force Base for selling drugs. That's the kind of women that are in Vegas. Believe in yourself. True. Good chemistry. Thank you, Believe.
thank you.
Lester, you are straightforward with everything, I think. That's the only way to be. I don't understand these stories that people are so the most important thing is the relationship in their life. They don't do anything else. They put everything they have into their partner, and if the partner wants to go do something by themselves, they can't handle it. If they break up, they can't handle it. It destroys their life. I just don't understand that at all. It's just not that important. If they're breaking up with you, there's a reason for it. There's something better coming around the corner. And says, I'm a pillar of incompatibility.
Orville says liberal, evil, prideful, dark heart.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet says yes, like Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla on Loveline.
Yeah, I've never heard one of their shows, but he talks about it a lot. I watch him a lot, and I don't think I could give advice because nobody would take it.
Tim says I'm 16 and I'm feeling kinda on the shelf. Sometimes I get a funny pain. My boyfriend likes my girlfriend and I cry with shame. Please tell me I'm in agony. Dear Jane, dear Jane, dear Jane. My girlfriend says, I never want to see my ex again.
You shouldn't have to. I was with my son's mother, and this whole thing went down, and she made a conscious decision that I was with Mrs. Spec, and because we were all there to take care of the kid, we all get along. She doesn't see Mrs. Speck as competition anymore or anything like that. So she made a decision, and it was a very intelligent decision, and the kid has turned out pretty well for all of that. And here's the kind of kid I have, right? Mrs. His mother and I went to Guadalajara to buy the Ford Carryall, and she was giving me wrong direction. I was yelling at her because she had to tell me when to get off, right? And he's yelling at me, and she tells the kid, but he was yelling at me, and he says, "Well, don't do things to make him yell at you." That's the kind of kid that I have.
Steven Andrews is here.
Hello, Stephen Andrews too. Overbuilt says, "Okay, it's not 17 years. I just figured out she's 23, he's 46, same as you. Good deal." Yeah, 23 years difference. Called baby mama nowadays. Yeah, I'm not doing that because I'm not. My skin is lighter than that. I don't need to do that. We're all here for him, and we're all taking care of him. So
Yeah.
he's the most important thing, and he's taken care of. They both come for a Christmas dinner every year, and then they go over to her parents' house who live in this town, and they do their Christmas over there. And there's no animosity at all, one
What
way
do
or
you
the other.
call the day before Christmas?
Christmas Eve.
Is your microphone dying?
It's not blinking.
It is.
Oh yeah, starting to die.
Can you change it?
So, oy.
Change it for now.
We only have 6 pictures left, but the microphone's dying, so I'm gonna turn on the other one, and I'm gonna turn this one off.
Princess, adults acting like adults. Refreshing to hear, actually.
Yeah, this I see so many videos about this person doesn't even get along with that, and this is the father's girlfriend or whatever, and the two women are fighting. No, the kids are the most important thing.
We had issues at the beginning. Like, to be honest, we did have issues at the very beginning. Like,
Yes.
right? But she realized that I wasn't going anywhere, and she realized that I was here for the kid. Like, at the beginning, like I cared for the kid, and she noticed that. So she's like, okay, well, if she cares for the kid, then I'm in.
Yeah, she had to make that decision for all of us to get along, and that's what she did, and it's been working fine for lots of years now. So we're all doing very well. Overbuilt says, "I'm with you. Good to see people being nice and civil. Kids are first, not emotional BS." Yeah, I just can't understand the women that use kids. The custody thing just to hurt the guy. It's in the long run, it's all going to come back on her. But in the meantime, the kids pay the price, and we don't want to do that. I don't think the kid has turned out bad. If he's getting straight A's in everything he does in school, in medical school, he also did that in regular school, all the different things. He got straight A's across the board, so he knows what's important. Who never invites you for holidays, Stray Bullet? I know what you meant, Overbuilt. You wouldn't go away if they invited you for the holidays? Maybe that's why they don't invite you for the holidays.
Yeah. Even says selfishness can be very ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't make any sense. Mrs. Speck and I made a conscious decision to not have children between us because we have him, and it's not. Let me tell you a story of something that happened here. But he says, I miss my ex-daughter. She was part of my life for 6 years. You mean she was your that woman's daughter? Because if she's yours, then she's always yours.
Sounds like she
Yeah.
was his daughter, her daughter.
So there's this married couple have a daughter living in Mazatlan, 4 hours from here. They wanted to have another child, but they couldn't for whatever reason. So, and these are poor people. The man was a bus driver, doesn't make much money. For somehow the woman got IVF. I think she went up to the next state up. She got IVF. She ended up having 5 babies, quintuplets. I saw a thing in the newspaper saying, "Oh, she has these 5 babies, and she's asking for donations of diapers and the formula, everything that the babies need. They're asking for it because he's only a lowly bus driver." And my thought is, have the doctor that gave her the IVF treatment to pay for everything, because he had to know that if they even have another baby, they're not going to have any money to take care of one, let alone 5 babies. And the next thing I thought of was that existing daughter will never have anything for the rest of her life. Everything that family earns is going to those 5 babies. She will never have anything again. Yeah. Nothing of her own. That got me so angry seeing that story. The doctors that created it, they didn't do anything. They're asking the public to pay for everything. Just absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know what happened to him. This was some years ago. I don't know if the baby survived or what. Hopefully the daughter went over to live with a grandparent or somebody else that could take care of her and get her the stuff she needs for school and everything, because the parents are obviously going to put the 5 babies above her, or use her as a slave to take care of the babies too.
Yeah, that's usually how it's done.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, so
The oldest one takes care of the kids.
yeah, so that got me angry seeing that. Unbelievable. The doctors who were involved in that should, for the next 18 years, take care of those 5 babies. Why do you want a custard square, Barry? I must have missed something. Not a, that's okay.
Thing came out of nowhere.
I don't know what custard is compared to like pudding. I don't know what the difference is between custard and pudding. Kind of weird.
It has eggs.
Pudding doesn't have eggs?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, straight bullet. I know, but Mexico isn't like that. There's no programs like that to take care of them. But unbelievable that they have 5 babies to take care of. They have no way to pay for anything. And the existing girl there needs everything too. She needs school stuff. She needs clothing. She needs everything. And she's not going to have a peso to spend on her. Nobody's going to have any money to spend on her. So there's just no thought process in the consequences of their actions.
We do have free medical to a certain point.
Yeah, but you don't actually get any medical care. You just go in there and you die, and they open up the bed for somebody else.
We don't have EBT, but we do have a program where they can give you like some food
Staples.
Like yeah, staples.
Tortillas and
dry goods and
yeah,
canned goods.
stuff like supposedly everybody eats, but that's not going to help the babies.
What do you do with frozen custard?
You eat it. Custard has more cream than ice cream. Okay. I'm not sure we have that here. Not sure.
Was it flan?
Maybe. Maybe. Not a fan of flan. Not even chocolate.
Not a flan fan?
I'm not a fan of flan. Not a fan of flan. I'm not from Scotland either. Not a fan of flan. But you have to be smart when you're planning things. Like I said, Mrs. Spec and I decided not to have a baby, not between us. And because, especially if we had a baby before COVID, how would we have survived that? When I lost my business, we just barely survived, just the two of us.
Yeah.
And that would have been terrible. So, we take care of him and we have our fur babies here, and that's enough. That is enough for us. No more children. I'm not going to have not like Gray Gutfeld had a child at 60 years old. That's not going anywhere. What's the most he's going to last? Another 20 years? The kid's going to be 20 and lose him? I don't know. I think we're done here.
Okay.
Mr. Speck, are we done here?
I guess so.
Okay. So hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. We want to thank Overbuilt, our mod, and Lester and Buff, our members. And hopefully some of you other guys will join our membership because we have to think of a new video to put out. We haven't figured anything out yet. We have to figure it out. We'll put out a new video for the members. And, we got to keep this thing going. Got to get some money in, man.
Yeah.
Figure out a way. So we appreciate everybody being here. Hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. I know it's too late for some of you guys on the East Coast. So my dad was 67 when he was born. Grandpa born 1867. Wow. He was really experimenting. Okay, good night, everybody.
Having us, thank you for being here. You're welcome for showing the animals, and um, and see you tomorrow. Video of the cats. I don't know if I can put videos in between the image slide.
I don't think it does that. You have to source it it has to be from a different source. So,
but I'll try.
Don, we're on at 8:15 Pacific time, so they may be a little late for you. But I think you're in the Eastern time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Bye bye.